everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name's Claire and this is Yoli. I make videos all about houseplant care, sharing tips and tricks I've learned over the years to help keep your plants happy and healthy. And it's been 10 days now since I imported my plants from Aroid Market. If you haven't seen that video, I would recommend watching that one first. I'll link it down below. But yeah, I thought I'd just give you a little update to let you know how they're all doing, how the acclimation process has been so far. But yeah, I hope you enjoy it. Let's get into it. So on the whole, I would say it's been really successful so far. Obviously 10 days is still very early days and things could still go wrong, but I'm pretty happy with how everything's gone in terms of acclimation at the moment. The one that I've probably had, I'm not going to say the most drama with, but the one I've had to do the most to is the Hoya macrophylla red. As you can see, she's not looking as she was before. I actually chopped her up because her leaves started to turn. She was kind of a beautiful big long vine before, and I put her in water for the first day or two, and I don't know, her leaves just, they weren't looking great. Like one of them actually dropped off and I was like, oh, okay, right. If the plant's gonna start going downhill, I need to act pretty fast. And so I chopped her up, and this one here, this was the kind of main section that had the roots on it. And as you can see, does anyone have experience with air layering Hoyas? It's something I've never done before, but I mean, it's the same principle as I've done for other plants like Monstera and stuff like that. So I'm wondering if it's gonna work. I thought there was no harm because then at least if for any reason the bottom section doesn't make it, then maybe this will stand a chance. I don't know. But the leaves, they just, I mean, like this one here, you can kind of tell, it's starting to go a little bit kind of sunsetty yellow, and whoa, it's very warm in here, so I've opened all the windows, and now I feel like all of my plants might, blow away. But yes, that is what I'm doing so far. They've only been in sphagnum moss like this for about 6 days so far, so obviously it's too soon to tell. I highly doubt I'd be able to see any movement on the roots so far. I might have a little look, but I very much doubt I'm going to be able to see anything. Also, I think because the stem of these ones was just so thick, I'm just a little bit worried. You know what? I'm so surprised. So the little aerial roots on the internode just there, can you see? Oh, I might need to put just like teeny just there. They're already starting to kind of swell and look like they might be producing little roots. Okay, that's positive. I really didn't think I'd be able to see anything this soon. Because yeah, as I say, that stem is so thick. I was just kind of worried that the moisture wouldn't really be able to kind of like penetrate the twigginess of it, if that makes any sense at all. But that has made me very happy. Okay, I'm just gonna very gently put it back in sphagnum moss, and I will absolutely keep you updated with these ones because yeah, I was very nervous. I was kind of umming and ahhing about whether or not to chop it, but now that I'm seeing it, I'm kind of glad that I did. My question is, how on earth did I get this in the jar just now? I just took it out of the jar and I have no idea how I got it in the first place. But yeah, as I say, I'll keep you updated with these ones. It is early days, but the fact that that is making progress already kind of gives me hope for all of them. I'm not gonna take any more of them out for now, but maybe in a few weeks' time, if any of you want to see it, I will do an update and let you know their progress. So that's that one. And then, okay, let's do this one next, because this one's also been a little bit of a struggle. This is the Libyssia turtleback, I think it was. Oh, how stunning are those leaves? This is a plant that I've never had before, and I read up a lot on because I have heard that they can be quite dramatic, quite sensitive plants. And I put this one in water when I did the unboxing video as just kind of like an initial rehydration, and the next day it was looking really floppy. Its leaves were really thin and not as succulent, and I kind of thought, oh god, maybe it's on its way out. So as you can see, I've got it in this bag, which is basically just, someone actually was saying about using blow up floral bags, which is something I've never heard of before, but I'm definitely going to look into. This is just a plastic bag that I've blown up and sealed to kind of create a really nice humid environment around the plant, and I might take it out and have a look. Actually, this is the first time I've taken it out to look at anything since I put it in the bag, which was 8 days ago now. So, oh, Fingers crossed it's okay. This is one as well that is supposedly quite easy to propagate. I've never done it before, but I am thinking at some point I might take some cuttings, like maybe fairly soon, depending on how it's looking, just because I really don't want to lose it. And I'd like to, like I've done with the Hoya, I'd really like to kind of feel like I've got a good chance. So if one doesn't go right, maybe I can start again. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna chop it out from the top because I've sellotaped that so tightly that I can't get it out. Most of the leaves are actually feeling okay. I don't feel like they're quite as green as they were before. They look a little bit purpley. And I've got one around here that, oh, it actually looks like it's kind of going moldy. It's kind of crisped up at the top, but that kind of looks like mold to me. So I think I'm gonna chop that one off. And I am pretty sure, and I might be wrong about this, but I did look it up last week. I'm pretty sure you can propagate them like pretty much just like this from leaf cuttings. I might be totally wrong about that, so please correct me if I am. But for the meantime, until I look that up again, I might just put this to one side and maybe I'll be able to do something with that and make some new plants out of it. But yeah, I'd say on the whole, it's definitely not super perky at the moment, but it's not awful. It's not awful. I think I just need to continue keeping it really, really humid. And as I say, I've got it in sphagnum moss at the moment, and I'm not quite sure if that's the right thing for it. I mean, I just was very conscious about creating a nice, airy, humid environment for the roots, and it doesn't look like it's responding brilliantly. Again, if anybody knows this plant, if anyone's got any advice, then I would be so grateful. I know some of you have already been amazing with advice and your comments in my last video, and honestly I appreciate it so much, because I always prefer to hear from people that have actually had the plant as opposed to just googling and getting kind of like a generic thing that might not be that accurate, if that makes sense. So yes, but I would say my plan for this plant now, I'm gonna put it in my cabinet. I've actually cleared out a big section towards the bottom where I've been acclimating some of the other ones that I'll show you, but I'm gonna put it in my cabinet, keep it fairly warm, fairly light, and very humid. And in the next few days, maybe consider taking some cuttings, because yeah, it is a bit floppy, isn't it? It is very floppy. In fact, I'm looking at it on camera and it looks even floppier. The hopeful thing about it is, as I say, the leaves haven't gone kind of thin. They are still quite succulent and lovely, but we'll see. We'll see. That's where this one's at the moment. I feel like I should probably do like a month's update video or something like that once I've kind of really had a chance to let them acclimate more. This is just a quick, like, this is how they're getting on now and we will be back soon kind of thing. But yes, so that is that one. And then the Aglaonema Pictum Tricolour. Oh, and I think, is it flowering as well? I think it's flowering. I don't know much about their flowers, to be honest, but how beautiful are those leaves? This one, I did chop the flowers back, as you can see, and that was just because I asked you guys in the last video whether or not you thought it was a good idea, and I think the general consensus was, especially while it's adjusting to a new environment, in order to kind of keep it as happy as possible and conserve its energy a bit, to chop the flowers. And actually, its soil's very dry. I have potted this one up, as you can see, because its roots were, oh my goodness, its roots were fantastic. So I've potted it up. It's been looking really good, really perky, and I would like to say that this droopiness here is just because it needs a water. I'll let you know, but it has been looking absolutely amazing up until probably last night, and I was like, I need to give it a drink, and then I totally forgot today before I filmed. So I'll give it a water, and I'll hope that will all be good, because it has been, as I say, it's been looking brilliant. I've had no losing of leaves. I haven't needed to chop any leaves back or anything like that. They all look very good, very healthy. They still feel quite full. So yeah, I will give this one a water and I will keep you updated. And then this one, oh, this one is just doing brilliantly. This is the Omedium Silver that honestly I am so in love with. Oh, amazing. Oh, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? That is just absolutely stunning. Just every single day I'm like, oh my goodness, I love this plant so much. This one has done so well, and as you can see, I have potted this one up as well. And actually, the soil of this one is ridiculously dry as well. I think because this room is just getting so hot at the moment. Yeah, I'd say this one's definitely due for a water as well. But I haven't lost any leaves. The air layering, it seems to be working. I've actually taped it on because it kept coming off, but I did have a look at the aerial roots earlier today and they are kind of coming along quite nicely. So I'm really hoping that's kind of helping to deliver some more nutrients to the rest of the plant. And then also the little leaf that was just emerging when I first unboxed the plant, and it looked really damaged, actually isn't that bad. It's got a little bit of damage on it, but as you can see, it's coming along really nicely and I think it's going to develop quite well. So yeah, I'm really happy with how this plant's doing. And again, as I say, its leaves feel really full. It doesn't, although it might look a little bit droopy at the moment, I think that's again just because it needs a water. I'm really happy with how this one's doing. I, at the moment, touch all the wood, don't have any cause for concern, and it's just so beautiful. Like the colour of those leaves and the shape of them, I think is just so gorgeous. So gorgeous, and I feel very lucky to have all of these plants, to be completely honest. But yeah, right. So that's that one. And then the variegated Adansonii. Oh my goodness. I've got another wishlist plant. Look at that. Look how beautiful those leaves are. Again, I asked you guys what you thought this type of Adansonii was, and I think the general consensus was that it's an Indonesian one. I wasn't quite sure. I thought maybe it could be an Asian one or something like that, but it is doing very well. I did lose one leaf. Actually, that leaf was kind of yellowing a little bit when I unboxed it, but I made the decision to chop that one. And since then, it's been doing really well. As you can see, again, I have potted it up. It did have root rot. That's the only thing. I had this one in water, and it was in water, I think, for about 3 or 4 days. And when I took it out, the roots just looked a bit sludgy, and I was like, oh dear. So I trimmed them right back, treated them with hydrogen peroxide, and then I potted it up and it's looking good. Also, it's giving me a new leaf already, which, sorry about the wind, which is making me so happy. Again, this is another one that I've got in my cabinet, and I think it's going to stay in my cabinet for the foreseeable future, at least for the next kind of 5-6 weeks until it's properly adjusted, because I've wanted this plant for such a long time and I just don't want anything to go wrong with it. So yeah, but I would say otherwise, all of its leaves are looking in really good condition. And as I said, the fact that some plants can kind of go into a bit of a dormancy when they go through like a change of conditions. They go into a bit of shock and they're kind of like, oh, okay, we need to hold some energy back and use that to adjust. And this one obviously has just gone, nope, don't worry about that, and carried on pushing out this leaf. And that makes me so happy. It makes me think that the plant is adjusting and is happy in its new environment. So yeah, but I can't get over those leaves, especially this one. Oh, how can I show you? This one here, it's almost like a little marbly half moon leaf, and it's just so pretty. But yeah, no, I absolutely adore it. And then the Philodendron 69686. Oh wow, they're big. Look at that. So this one again was in water, wasn't doing amazingly root wise. The roots were going a little bit mushy. I chopped them back a lot, and then I put it in damp perlite, which is kind of like my go-to for philodendrons if they're not doing amazingly. Like it's always worked really well for me. And although this section here, which actually has started to kind of grow round, is doing quite well, you can see in here the roots do look quite dark still, so I think I might need to chop them back even further and potentially do another little hydrogen peroxide treatment. But on the bright side, the foliage on the whole is looking fairly good. I've got a leaf, which one is it? It's this little one here. This little one here is looking a little bit yellowy. It's kind of looking like it might turn, and actually this new one here has just got a tiny little tint of yellow, which I think is probably just, again, shock. I think it's just adjusting, and the fact that its roots aren't in a great way is obviously not helping, so I do need to deal with that fairly quickly. I haven't got any hydrogen peroxide at the moment, but I've ordered some more in because I literally rinsed it on treating all of these plants to make sure that they were all okay, and now I need to get some more. But yeah, I think it's going to be absolutely fine. Like, from what I know about the kind of similar plants in this family, like for example the Scormiferum and stuff like that kind of appear very similar and seem to behave very similarly, I would say it's going to be absolutely fine. But I think it is probably going to need a little bit of a chop back, because especially when I take the roots back further, I kind of feel like it's going to be supporting, the roots going to be supporting quite a lot of foliage, and I'm not sure if they can hack it. So I don't know. I will play it by ear, and as I say, I will do an update video a little bit further down the line, maybe in a month or so. But for now, it's looking hopeful. I'm thinking it's going to be fine. And then the Epipremnum amplissimum, I think I said that wrong last time, and I think I had some people saying that I wasn't saying it right. So Epipremnum amplissimum variegata. It's variegated. Oh my God. It's variegated. Look at that. That is this one. As you saw when I unboxed this plant, I did chop one of the yellowing leaves off, and I think that was definitely the right decision, and it is giving me a new leaf already just there. I have no idea how quickly this plant grows. For some reason, I don't know why, you know, like you just look at plants sometimes and you're like, I feel like you're going to be quite slow growing. I kind of thought that with this one, but clearly not. It's doing well, and its leaves are curling a little bit, as you can see. I mean, I have had it in my cabinet and it has been quite kind of squished up against other things in there, but they are curling a little bit. There's no browning or anything like that, and there doesn't appear to be any signs of yellowing. So I think so far, so good. And again, I'm just going to be very closely monitoring it, keeping it nice and humid, nice and light, fairly warm. And yeah, I did actually give this one a water last night because, as you can see, I have potted it up again. It had such a good root system on it, and I was so happy with how the roots were doing. So yeah, I'm feeling confident about this plant. I know I'm saying that about a lot of them. I am feeling confident. They've given me no reason to think otherwise so far. So that's the update on that one. And just look at that variegation. It's just so beautiful. And I'm still just in a daze with all of these plants. I'm feeling very lucky to have them, and I'm very happy. So next plant. So this is the Hoya undulata red. Oh my God, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? This is one that I haven't really done anything to since the unboxing video, to be completely honest. It's still in sphagnum moss. I don't really have a huge amount to say about it, to be honest. It hasn't changed, and I think that's good. But I also know Hoyas, because they are kind of quite robust plants, they can take a little while to let you know if they are going downhill, apart from the other one, obviously. But this one, it still feels nice and full. I don't think a huge amount has changed with it, and I think this is one that I definitely need to come back to in a few weeks, a month's time, whatever I decide to do with the update. But I think this is one that it is too soon to tell. But I think the fact that nothing has changed is a good thing. It's hanging on in there. It's not dropping any leaves. It's not losing any of its kind of robustness, succulentness. I don't know, what's the word? It's still feeling nice and firm, let's just say that. And yeah, I'll keep you updated. And then there is the amazing one, the Sarawak. Oh my God. What's the name of it? This is a Hoya. I'm pretty certain this is a Hoya. Look at the size of those leaves. I obviously got it labelled as Sarawak, and I assume that's what it was. I did some Googling. I saw pictures that looked like this one. But then on one of my, I think it was my Hoya video the other day, someone was like, no, that's not a Sarawak. It looks like a latifolia or something like that. I can't remember the name. But I am now a bit like, oh, maybe it was mislabeled. I don't know. So if anybody does know, then please do let me know in the comments. But this is another one that, as you can see, I am air layering. And again, as I've said already, if anybody has got experience air layering Hoyas, do let me know. But as I say, I put it in sphagnum moss. It's still in the container that I had it in when I unboxed it, and I kind of started acclimating it that way. I've had it in my cabinet. It seems happy, like nothing's really changed that much. But I thought, again, just to be on the safe side, if anything was to go wrong, then I think it's probably a good idea to do some air layering. Try and get the aerial roots going a little bit, so that if I did need to chop and propagate, oh my goodness, I see movement on this as well. And this isn't even... Okay, this is going to be hard. This is going to be hard to show you. So, just, can you see? Yeah, that little white bit just there, that is an aerial root. Oh, fantastic. That's really good. And this is so encouraging. That's not even in the bit that's covered with moss as well. yeah, okay, this kind of reaffirms that I made the right decision. And I do definitely need to stake this because, as you can see, she's very top heavy. She's heavy anyway, but she's carrying a lot of weight on a relatively thin stem for the size and the weight of those leaves. So I do need to stake her, but I just adore her. I love her so, so, so much. And I'm really, really pleased. I didn't even notice that before. I'm so happy having seen that. And I'm hoping that there's lots going on underneath this as well. I'll take them off maybe in the next video and I'll show you if there's any roots, if there's anything exciting to look at. But yeah, that's the update with them so far. And if anyone's got any questions or tips or anything like that, then obviously do let me know and I'd be so grateful. But I'm, on the whole, touch all the wood, I'm really happy with how they're all doing. I'm happy that I haven't lost any, and I'm happy that the ones that maybe do need a little bit of attention are, by the sounds of it, fairly easily propagatable and fairly easily savable. But yes, I really hope that you enjoyed this update video. If you've got any questions, as I say, comment them down below and I will get back to you. But yeah, if you did enjoy this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, have a lovely day, and I will see you in the next video.